What up? Bonasera. It is exactly 8 p.m. EST here on the East Coast, and I'm back at it for another Saturday night of programming. This is actually going to be more UI and UX focused than usual. Last week when I was trying to do this, I got caught in the weeds with Bluetooth protocol, and I decided that that is actually a poor choice of streaming content because sometimes it just doesn't work great. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'll try and get that part of it done, I think, off stream. Where are my hotkeys? Hold on. Let's do some nice music. And then, let's see. Oh, there's Unity. Awesome. Yeah, so, as you can see, I've done a bit of work on this since the last time I streamed. I don't think I have a screenshot of it, from when it was the last time I touched around with this. But it has a UI now. I had an idea in my head of what I wanted this to look like. Hey Bond, thanks for stopping by. And so I'm trying to act on that, execute upon that. Overall, I think it's not bad. So I've got a couple of goals that I need to accomplish tonight. I wrote them down on a list so I don't forget and don't get frazzled. I need to make the actual plugin driver into a Singleton, and I'll talk about the Singleton design pattern because it's a good concept to talk about. I want the UI here to have multiple tabs. Like, this is the tab for color selection, which is a facet of the app, but the other facets of it are where you input things like what you think your minimum and maximum heart rates are, and how you're getting that heart rate data, and perhaps like a debug log would be a separate tab. So we have that. As I mentioned, I want to have this be able to support multiple different ways of acquiring that heartbeat data, and some other just general quality of life things, such as displaying the actual heart rate over here somewhere on the top bar, like a heads up kind of display. So that's what I'm up against tonight. I guess I'll just start at the top of the order for those. I'm going to go ahead and talk about singletons. So, what do I want to do? I want to take, let's go to the game here. We've got our plugin here, the heart rate plugin, and I pretty much came to the realization that every piece of this app needs to communicate with this central script in some way, either to get heart rate data, to save things, what have you. So that's where things like a singleton would come in. Where do I want to put this? Let's do heart rate plugin here. We'll make a new script. This is going to be the heart rate manager, I guess. You can just call this like App Manager or something like that. So I'll pop this open. Heart rate manager. Boom. So, I basically want to have a singleton that can be used as a way of getting reference to that heart rate plugin at any time I need it to. So, a couple easy things we can do starting that off. We'll do serialized field, private, heart rate plugin, and we'll give this an accessor, public, like so, get this dot plugin. Yeah, so I guess going back to it, what is a singleton? Because we're about to make one. Singleton. This is a class that I've written that I use in every project that I make in Unity. It's extremely useful. This is a singleton of type heart rate manager, like so. This needs me to implement some methods. Cool. We've got initialize. I don't think I need to do anything in here, other than maybe we do this plugin. Think. No, this accepts arguments. No need to do that. I don't think I have to put anything in here just yet. We'll get back to that when we get back to that. Yeah, so a singleton is a basically the way it works under the hood. We'll hop in here. It is a class where it has a static reference to something of its own type, and static means you don't need an instance to reference it. So therefore, you're able to get the pointer to an instance, the singular instance of that data type or class or what have you from anywhere in the app by referencing. You do like elsewhere, you do like heart rate manager dot instance, and that will return you a pointer to the actual instance of the object, and anything can access it without a need for having a direct reference acquired some other way in Unity, which I think is important. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so we've got our plugin. This is gonna start. I don't think I need to put anything in these other methods just yet. So we will go back to Unity here. We're gonna go to our plugin manager here, our manager, and give this a reference to the plugin, which makes a lot of things a bit easier now. So when I boot this up, here's what the app looks like. I can actually make this bigger. Oh, and I gotta tell VTS that I will allow it. There we go. So it's got a bunch of widgets here. If I give these like colors, 55, 0, 0, 255, like such, you can see it displays a gradient of the white to the color that we want. So like if I did like 128, 25, something like that, you can see what color it is in more or less real time. You type in your matchers for what you want the actual color to be, not what you want the actual color to be, what you want to get tinted that color, kind of an extension of what we talked about last time. And so my thought here would be, let's zoom this back out, you'd have a button to make a new one of these modules. You can copy an existing one if you wanted to have, like, say, the same color and modify the matchers, something like that. I don't know what, you would want the same color, I think, but you'd maybe want to copy I don't know why you'd want to copy it, but it seems like a thing you might want to do. And obviously to delete. Seems like a relatively straightforward plan. So, to that end, how are we going to accomplish this? The first thing I want to do is get the new color button working here, one that makes a new one of these modules, because in the actual version of the app, like if I go to viewport content, I don't actually want any of these to already be in the scene. It would just be the new color button, and you click on that and it makes a new color for you. So, to that end, I'm going to accomplish this. How? I think last time I worked on this, I made a button. Create new module, yes. It's this. Simple wrapper class I have that doesn't do anything on its own yet, but we will give it a public method, void, create module, and now because the heart rate plugin is a singleton, it's much more easy to access. So we can do heart rate manager, instance, plugin, create color input module, and then we do new, like that. I think that's all I need to do. Hit save on that. Go back to Unity here. Now we have our new color selection. Let me open the prefab for this bad boy. I will add color. Nope, not color input module. Is it new? Create new module. There we go. Now our button. We're gonna add on the on pointer up here. Take that. Create new module. And this should have, yeah, create module. There we go. Now if I boot this up, it might have one loading in from save data. Nah, awesome. So now I can click this, and we get a new module. Ooh, why did it make two of them? Uh-oh. That's interesting. It's making like a ton of them. I'm not sure why. Value cannot be null. Oh, hold on, I'm getting stack traces here. I've done something wrong. Value cannot be null. Parameter name value in color input module line 112. String join data matchers can't be null. Ah, okay. I'm guessing it's initializing. Yes. Let's. Was it new? Nope. String 0, like so. Empty. Should be fine. I guess default color white. I think that's correct. Alright, gotta reload Unity. Unity does not like having you modified scripts while you're running. Okay, so it did save all of these, unfortunately. So we'll have to get that delete button working before too long. If I click new, there we go. That's more in line with what I was expecting, and it only makes one of them. So then I can like modify this. 2, like so. Cool, okay. So that makes a module. I don't think these are currently hooked up to anything though, because of, again, I didn't have a way to point to the main plugin class, which we got working last time, but I broke it in the process of trying to flesh out the UI in a more usable way. Let's get those other buttons working. Delete module. Also pretty straightforward. Private void delete module. Think I can do that? And it won't think it's a constructor? Oh no, I can't. I literally can't do that. Oh. Thank you for the raid, Isby. I told you I'd only be 5 minutes, and here I am. Batman was really cool to watch. That game looks very good. I don't know if it necessarily plays very good, but I was very impressed by the parts that I saw. Yeah, so welcome aboard. Let me show you what I'm working on right now. I am building a plugin for VTube Studio that will let you capture heart rate data and do stuff with your model based on it, because I think this is a natural bread and butter pairing. Not that I have a heart or anything, but I do have a human heart somewhere that I can use as practice for this. Right now I'm working on UI stuff. Aesthetic, really, really cool game, so yeah. So basically, I've got sections currently in my UI where you can input a color, give it some art mesh matchers, and you'll be able to have it tint parts of your model of that color. But right now I need to get the actual plugin to read information from these individual modules. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in a moment. I need to be able to clear out some of those modules from the list of... Actually, let's change gears for a second. Let me go to my heart rate plugin and let's see how this works under the hood. I also have too many of these things open. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I've got my plugin. In its update loop, I have it iterate over all of those modules in a list, and then it will tell VTube Studio to act upon them in some way. So the thing is, I have to get those modules into this list. Create color input module. I believe every time I tell it to create one, it does that automatically, which is good. Oh, okay, cool. And then destroy is also a function. That makes sense. In that case, what do I want to do here? I actually want the delete method to be part of the, instead of being a separate button. That's bad design. Let's see. The delete button will be part of the color module itself. So I should get rid of these two other scripts because we're not going to need them. Move to recycling bin, delete module, move to recycling bin. We are going to go to our, where is it? Why do I not see it here? Color input module, I can't read, I'm colorblind. Here, we're going to have some public methods somewhere. Update, alright. Public void clone self, or I guess it would just be clone public void delete. Easy enough. So in the first like 5 minutes of this stream, I got the Singleton pattern set up for my plugin, which I think is a really, really important design concept. For folks who just hopped on, a singleton is basically a singular instance that exists within your program's lifecycle of a given data type. With singletons, there can only ever be one instance of that data type, but conversely, that means that you can reference it very easily, even from things that are not directly glued together. I think for games and other complex applications, singletons are a very important concept. So instead of me needing to go through in, like, say, Unity here, and find all of the little references to the plugin and, you know, drag and drop references around into the inspector here, or finding some other way to get whatever you need. Oops. Show VS Code. There we go. You can just reference the singleton in code here. So we'll do, for example, clone. This will be as simple as doing heart rate manager instance referencing the singleton of the heart rate manager here. Plugin, the underlying plugin class. This will be create color input module, and it'll be this dot to save data. So this will create a new color input module of based on the data that we have from the existing one. Pretty straightforward. This is a benefit of having your objects be able to be serialized into JSON. You can very easily pass all of their essential information around from anywhere you need to. Because this can save and load, it can also create new instances of itself very, very easily. And then delete similarly will be heart rate manager instance dot plugin destroy color input module this. Because I already had those planned out from last time, I just never got around to hooking them up. So now we hide VS Code here. PC game, there we go. Lest you all look at my Bluetooth specification chart. We open up our prefab here, and now we have to do the thing I was just talking about where we assign some references manually. So let's see, on pointer up here, this is my copy button. We drag over the reference to itself. We say our color input module, clone, and my delete button. We're gonna do a similar thing on pointer up. On pointer up. input module, delete. Alright, let's see if this works. Let's put this to the test. So when we loaded in, it had a bunch of these dummy ones that I got because I was mashing my fancy new color button. Can we delete them, though? Yes, we can. Awesome. Similarly, can I copy an existing one? Yes, we can. It just works. Awesome. Now if I close the app and boot it up again, do I get the 2 reds? I do. Awesome. It works. So now, if I put a matcher here, I think we can actually show the plugin working. So this will be... I will never remember what my actual model parts are, but for the sake of demoing this here, let's go with head. Let's crank that heart rate all the way up. Oh, and it's because I have this one. I have the one that matches everything. There we go. You can see as I move the slider back and forth, if we didn't have that matcher that matched everything on my body for a second there, I'll have to figure out how to make it undo that, because that's not, I don't think, desirable behavior. It shouldn't match everything by default. Trans Am, right? Yeah. So, Isby, I don't know if you've been on other streams where I've been talking about this, but basically, all I want to do... I'll boot this back up so it can refresh my data here. All I want is to be able to have a plugin that reads heart rate and can make you get flushed the higher your heart rate goes. Like, just a little bit, right? So, like, if you had skin or a circulatory system, which I mean, I know neither of us do, but if you did, you'd be able to slowly get more and more flushed. And you can add more matchers. I can never remember what my teeth and jaw bones are. Apparently they're not just jaw. But if you can have more matchers. I think I could do, like, for example, hair? Does that work? No. I'll never remember what these are. Glasses? Does that work? Apparently not. I don't know. But you could match whatever parts of your model you wanted to match. Oh, okay, hair does work. I just didn't save. There you go. So, like, you can tint whatever based on a simple input. In this case, heart rate. Yeah, I've been talking about this for a long time because it's been something in my head for quite a bit. It seemed like a novel thing to do, and it's the aspect of dog fooding my own app here. So let's stop that. Alright, so I can cross making the plugin itself a Singleton off my list. You can blush or you can turn Super Saiyan. Yeah, right? Or both. As you can see here, I've got it configurable such that you can choose whatever color you want. It doesn't have to be red. If you were playing like a horror game, maybe you'd make your character turn blue the faster your heart got, because you were, like, you know, scared or whatever. Or something like that. So, the next step for that is actually having a way to get your heart rate value outside of messing around in the inspector here. I've got a little slider, you know, because it's fun or whatever, it's easy, but there needs to be a way to get input from externally. Last time I was doing my stream, I was trying to actually directly connect to a Bluetooth device that I have via, like, Windows Bluetooth Manager. I've decided that is not something to do on stream because it is very, very fickle, and it also made me think about, can I have more varieties of ways that users can get input onto here? And to that end, I have, I think, 4 ideas for different ways that I want to allow users to be able to potentially pipe input. The first way is the one we're going to do here in a second, when I finish talking and can think about moving my hands and typing again, is going to be basically having a slider like this within the app's UI. This is for, you know, debug purposes. You type in your color, and you want to see what the range of motion looks like before you actually go live. So that would be your debug slider. The second one would be connecting directly to a Bluetooth application or Bluetooth hardware, like what I was trying to do last stream. The third one, and this is exciting, I got approval from Pulsoid, which are a company that runs an app that handles Bluetooth connecting to devices and getting heart rate information and such for streamers already. I got approval from them as a developer, so I have a client key and secret that I can use to make web calls to them. And so I think I will be able to, at some point, allow single sign-on with Pulsoid for this so you can get your heart rate via their API. So that's 3. Number 4 is there is a Bluetooth API protocol within JavaScript. So I could have this launch a web page that you could use to pipe data back, like a localhost web page that you could use to pipe data from that over with WebSocket. I don't know how that would be more useful than just the native Windows connector, but maybe it's better or more robust. And then the 5th way, this is number 5, would be having it read that value, your current heart rate value, out of a file that you can point to. And I figure that last way is the most open-ended I can possibly allow for, which would mean that you could, in theory, not even link this to heart rate. If you wrote a separate application that was just piping a number to like a text file or whatever, and this was reading that file in a fixed update loop, you could very easily use this for whatever you want to do within the scope of, I guess, tinting your model based on a external value of some sort. I don't know. In addition to tinting, I also at some point want to be able to activate like emotions or gestures, I think they're called in VTube Studio. Like if you're really, really like heart churning, you could like activate like a sweat gesture that makes like little sweat blobs fall off your head. Something like that. So I got big plans for this, but for a 1.0, we're going to stick with color. And probably not all of those different input methods. Anyway, because I've decided I want this app to be like this nice little bone-shaped screen, we need different tabs. Because I can't fit all that information or all those different ways of connecting on the same screen. That's fine, Unity is really good about this, and I have quite a bit of experience doing this kind of thing in Unity. So, I'm going to simply, this is the pro developer strat, copy and paste. We're going to call this the color module content scroll view. And we have the second one, which is going to be the input method. Can't spell. Method. Content scroll view. And currently I think these are going to overlap. Like if we look in our scene, they basically exactly overlap, which is good. That's fine. Scroll bar, sliding area. Nope. Viewport. New color selection. Get this shit out of here. And so we're basically going to have a separate tab for each of the different kind of things that we want to accomplish. And then we'll have buttons to navigate those tabs across the top here. But the first thing that we need to do then is make sure that these don't all activate at once. Let's turn off our color input module for a second. And let's turn this one back on. And then at some point we'll have the plugin manager handle swapping between these tabs. Content. Actually, wait. Do I need to have a separate whole scroll bar system for each of them, or can I actually just have multiple... I've saved my scene recently, right? Hold on, let's see what happens if I do this. I was thinking I need to have like a whole window for them, but I think I might just be able to get away with doing this. Oh wait, no. This goes under viewport. Huh? What happened here? Why did this bug out? I'm confused. Let's try that again. Go straight to viewport. Did that work? Are we good? Okay, that seems to work. I guess I can just do that. In that case, this becomes color module content. And this becomes input module content. And this one, we don't have any of these. This becomes a prefab. UI prefabs. There we go. Oh. We'll deal with that later. We'll make these things prefabs later. I think Actually, wait, no. Let's apply that. And then we can open this guy up. This becomes a prefab. This becomes a prefab. There we go. Okay. So we'll turn off the color module for a second, and we're going to now have to make some new modules. So we'll go and we'll do... Actually, let's base that on an existing module because they... What is this? Color module content? Is this the scroll? No, wait, I'm dumb. What am I trying to do? I'm looking for input module. What's happening here? Densuo, thank you. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining the Skeleton crew. As they say, if it does not read rest in peace on your tombstone, you get drafted into the Skeleton War. So, your voluntary conscription will save some poor draftee. It's definitely a one-to-one quota system here. So if you're voluntarily signing up, you are 100% saving some poor lost soul. The maid threw you in here. That's what she's good for. She's really strong. She can chuck people straight from the moon into the graveyard with, like, pinpoint accuracy. I forgot what I was looking for here. What the fuck are these things called? Color selection? Why do I not see this here? Oh, I'm blind. I'm just really dumb. Okay, so we're gonna base it off of this thing. Because this has got a big nice square and decent layout and stuff. I don't know that we actually need as big of a square for this, but that's fine. We don't need the gradient background, I don't think, anymore. So that goes away. Oh, jeez. Okay. Input module. Unity is really fickle about prefabs, so it is what it is. Original prefab. And we can open this up, and now we can work on it in the prefab view. Don't need any of that. These go away. Honestly, we don't really need most of this. But I like the fact that it's a square. We're tearing everything off and having a section square where it's got a light, right and a left. Left and a light. There we go. One second. Oops. Where's VS Code? I lost my IDE. There we go. Okay. So, for the first input module that we were talking about, I think I just need a sliding bar. Slider here. And this is going to be 0 to 255 is what we're going to say that this can go between, because that sounds like a normal human heart rate for sure. How do I want to set this up? Probably doesn't need to be as tall as it is. We do like 100. And then we can do... I don't know why I based this on the other prefab. I actually don't need any of this framing at all, I don't think. Just trying to think if there's any kind of uniformity I would want to set up for future modules. I don't know. Probably not. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So, let's see. Turn off the left, turn off the right. We're going to make this the width of the thing it's contained within. The buffer of, I think, 15 on each side is what I decided upon for my other modules here. 0, 15, like so. Cool. Good enough for me. So we will take this module. I think we can do revert all. Oh, and then I need to actually also... There's a bunch of stuff I need... It's not a color input module anymore, so we remove that shit. Get rid of this. We're not using it anymore. delete that. Input module. There we go. And then we can have this do a slider on value changed. I think I can point it directly to the plugin here. Heart rate manager. Heart rate plugin. Set heart rate. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's static. No, that's not what I want. Heart rate plugin. Why can that not pass it dynamically? Is it because it's not a float? Hold on. It needs to be an int though. Can I add a float? Oh, there we go. Downcast? Well, let me do that? Okay. And then if I go back, will let me now pass that dynamically. Heart rate plugin. Yeah, okay, now we can do that. So if I boot this up, and now I drag the... Oh, that's... Okay, that's... Yeah. There you go. There you go, that works. Oh, I should also make this whole numbers only. Boom. Oh, that's like night and day. It like jumps very quickly. I guess maybe I shouldn't have it go to 255. That's like an arbitrary programmer number, but not actually within normal human heart rate range. I don't even think mice have heart rates that high. But you can see it does work. As you slide the slider around, you can see yourself get more and less flushed. I will probably realistically, at some point, have a thing where you input your minimum expected and maximum expected heart rate, because that is part of how this works as well, is you give it a bounds, and I will make the slider dynamically have its min and max be between those values. So, yeah, let's... Oh, actually, so now that we have that, let me go to my plugin again. I need to get a... I should just make this a accessor. I don't know why I made it a method. But I do want to make this an accessor, because I want this to be read-only. Public int heart rate. I don't actually know when I should use accessors versus like methods. It seems completely arbitrary. Return this dot heart rate. There we go. So anything can read what the heart rate here is now. Honestly, I could probably have just made this I don't know. Well, no, this needs to be immutable except through that one method. These could probably be made public, which is fine. I'm like so ingrained in my brain against using public variables or public accessors except when you need to, for no real reason. It's just like how I'm wired. Anyway, let's go to our nav bar here, and let's make a UI scripts. I don't know what it's going to fall under. I guess this is just going to be nav bar. Boom. Okay, so we've got a couple of things that we want to do in the nav bar here. Let's firstly, the first thing I'm trying to do is get a serial as field, private text. I need to be using Unity Engine UI. Oh, I need a using declaration here. Private text, heart rate. And we're going to do in the update function here a rare good use for update. This dot heart rate dot text equals heart rate manager dot instance dot plugin heart rate. Like so. Now we can go to our nav bar here. We can add a component, nav bar. We will need to UI add some text. Center that, I guess. We'll start by having this line that side. 0, 15. I think that's, we'll just do 0. And then the nav bar will point to that. Name this something useful. Oh, I'm not showing Unity, my bad. There we go. I was messing around in the plugin, or the prefab thing here. Call this heart. Display. Boom. Shows up there. I boot up the app. It defaults to 66, but there you go. Oh, it's kind of small to see on the stream. Let me maximize this. Zoom in. There you go. So yeah, now you can see it's thinks your heart rate is 76. As we get higher and higher, it's getting redder and redder. Yeah, so that would be one method of doing input here. I will make this look prettier shortly, and I'll probably add some more content to here. I don't know what it would be. I guess it would say what the minimum and maximum values here are. Maybe. I don't know, but that's basically what I'm planning. And then I'll have like another module down here that's like sign in with Pulsoid, and then another module down here that's like, oh, that's what these need. These need checkboxes. That's what these need. They need a title box and a checkbox, so you can choose which one you are currently using, because you can't use all of them at the same time. That wouldn't work. Let's set that up. Let's get that set up. Input module. So instead of these being split left and right, these actually need to be split top and bottom, I think. Or at least they need to have a section for top. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be like so, like so, like so. One height is going to be 60, I think, something like that. Enable that. Top. We have bottom, which is going to be min 0, max of 1. Kind of hard to visualize these, as it were, but that's how it is. Bottom. Oh god, I hit build by accident. No, you don't need to build. Shit. What happened here? Put me back in. Input module, this thing. I hit the hotkey for build, which is like Control-Shift-B or something, because I was using too many keys. Bottom. Okay, there we go. And then we can move the slider into the bottom here. Oh, it doesn't like that. Why? Oh, oops. No. Oh, God. Get rid of these layout group shit. That's why. Well, I don't know if I want it for the top. Maybe I want it for the top. Not a vertical one, though. It'll be horizontal. That's what it is. Move this guy here. Zero. That. 15. 15. 15. We're back to where we were. Looks good. Looks good. That's fine. Call this bottom. And then top. Here we're going to put our UI. Toggle. Goes in the top. Anchored to the corner. 15. pivot is 0. 15. Why is this? Oh, that's why. Gotta be in the top. Boom. This we want to be top left corner. 15. Nope. 1. There we go. Label. This will be test slider. Beautiful. This is some quality ass, Unity ass UI right here. So the idea would be you check this box, it would uncheck all the other boxes, and you'd be able to use this as your form of input. That's what I'm imagining. So actually, yeah. The way that I have it right now where why does this look fucky? Why are they like this? If I turn this off and turn it on again, does it fix itself? No. Why does this look bad? Revert? There we go. The way I have it right now, where I've got the slider piping its updates to the plugin, is actually, I think, backwards. At some point, I'm going to have the plugin know which of these input modules it needs to listen to, I think is what's going to happen. And I will make like some kind of uniform module class that can select from and figure out a way to get its... Actually, let's do that next. Yeah, that'll be the next thing we do. So get rid of this. We don't need to do that. We're going to make another class here. This will be input module, and this will be heart rate input module. Heart rate. There we go. And this will be an abstract class. And it will have public int get heart rate. And this will return the heart rate. Why is this? Oh, right, you don't need to do that. Right? Oh, right, abstract. That's what I need to do. So this will have a abstract method, get heart rate, and then the overarching plugin here will have some kind of reference to these and some kind of switch, and it will know which one of these to call that method on to set its heart rate to. Which means I can actually make these private. Or actually, there doesn't need to be a method for these at all, because I can just set the heart rate directly. So we're going to delete these. And we're going to have a section here, which will be header input modules. And we're going to have a private heart rate input module. This will be input debug slider. And for the sake of simplicity right now, I'm just going to have it always read from this one, because we don't have the sophistication of checking which one of these is selected at the time, but I'll add logic for that later. So we can do, in every update frame, we will say this dot heart rate equals this dot input debug slider dot get heart rate. Awesome. So we'll get our heart rate every frame, and then we can do stuff with it in VTube Studio. At some point, like I said, I'll have some kind of logic here which figures out which one is applicable, and therefore it knows which one to read from. And that way you can switch between them at will, nice and easy. So now let's do a concrete implementation of one of these things. We're gonna do C# script. A slider input module, I think. I don't actually know what the way I want to do the naming scheme for these, but I'm not sure it matters now. You can always refactor later. Never let somebody tell you that you can't refactor. And so this will implement heart rate input module. Awesome. Easy, easy. Wrong hotkey. There we go. We have a thing for getting the heart rate. So we use Unity engine UI. And we will have a reference to the slider. Serialized field. Private. Slider. And then we can simply do return this dot slider dot value. Easy. So the idea would be each module we build will be based on this abstract interface. I guess this is more of an interface than an abstract. I don't know why I chose one versus the other. And that way you can easily switch between them. You've got this contract for how to get the heart rate out of them, and you can actually have the details under the hood of what all that entails abstracted away, so that the actual plugin itself doesn't need to worry about the details of where the information is coming from. This is what we call a design pattern. This is good programming, I think. So now we will take our wait, did I name these backwards? I'm dumb. Oh wait, no, we just don't need this one at all. We don't need the second scroll. I'm still dumb, but not for the reason I thought it was. Now we open this guy up. We will add our test slider input module. We give it a reference to said slider. Now we go back up here. Our plugin manager. We've got our section for input modules. There we go. So now if I boot this back up, it should continue to work. It doesn't. Oh, took a while. Sorry, it took a second for VTube Studio to connect. That's what it was. That's something else I should add up here is indication of if VTube Studio has connected or not. Like a connection status. So yeah, there we go. It's able to read from this module, no problem. I haven't done anything for what happens if you check or uncheck these. But, you know, it is what it is. Cool. I guess the other method that no, I'm trying to think, how would I do this? So ideally, if I have one of these get selected, it would need to report to the plugin manager that it has been selected, and the plugin manager would need to know to deselect all of the other ones, I think. What would be the best way to do it? I don't actually know yet. But we'll get there in a little bit again. That's a problem I can solve later. It might be something like I actually might not need an individual reference for each of these. I might be able to have a single list, and then when one of these things you click the toggle button on it, if it toggles itself to true, it would send an event up to the plugin, which would iterate over the list and deactivate all the other ones, or find the one that, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'd do it, but there's got to be a way. I'm sure of it. Okay. next up, let's do some stuff for the nav bar here. Nav bar. Go back to this. Because now I want to be able to toggle between our various pieces of what have you. So we're going to have all of our different tabs. Serialized field, private. This would just be, I guess, a rect transform. Or even just a game object, I guess. Be inputs tab. Give this a header. Tabs. I don't know why that took me so long to come up with. Serialized field. Actually, how do I want to do this? Because what I want is when you activate one tab, you have it deactivate basically every other tab. So if I have them all as individual references, you need to manually tell it to turn all the other ones off, which is a pain. If I had it some way to map... Oh, so like a way I've done this in a previous game project, right, is I would make an enum of all the different UI states you could have, and there'd be a dictionary that maps the enum to the corresponding gameplay screen. And then you say go to and you pass in the enum, and it disables all the other things. It iterates over the enum and disables all of them, or makes sure they're all disabled, and then enables the one that you care about. The only thing that makes that a pain is that Unity does not let you serialize dictionaries, so it's not super easy to set up by hand, which is what you'd need to do. So like what I've done, I'm gonna over-engineer this because I've got time to kill. Let's over-engineer this. Public class. We're gonna make this system. Actually, we're gonna start with our enum. UI. Or just tabs. I won't be able to cache the stream, but I'm here to wish you a good stream and no problems writing code. This one's actually going quite well. Unlike usual, where I kind of just wing it because I had very high confidence in myself, I did write down a to-do list for myself, and I've been able to scratch items off of it. I haven't been tripped up yet, but I'm also not doing particularly low-level stuff. This is all like, you know, screens and game engine stuff, whereas last time I was trying to like get very much in the weeds of specific technical protocols and what have you. I appreciate the well wishes. It's always nice to hear from you. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a good night with whatever you're doing as well. Yeah, don't forget to stop by tomorrow, Fuba, because I'll be doing my cooking stream, which I'll talk about before I get to the end of this one. That one you won't want to miss, I think. Tomorrow I will for sure. I mean, if you can't, also, like, no big deal. Don't let me dictate your life. But I'll talk about that in a little bit before I run out of time. I'm going until 10 p.m., which is in an hour. So shortly before then, I'll talk about my plans, and then I'll sign off for the night. Okay. So we've got some enum states. We're going to have heart rate inputs equals to 1. Color inputs 2, and those are the only two screens that we've got right now. We'll do like debug logs 3. So we've got that. Then we're gonna have a serializable public class. Tab mapper. This is so over-engineered. I wish Unity just let me serialize dictionaries from the inspector. I wouldn't have to do this shit. Okay, a tab mapper can have a public tab. Nope. Tab. Why is this not? Oh, tabs. Like that. And then public rect transform. Rect transform. I also want to call this tab. What do I call this? Element. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we have then these, and then the next step is private list. What did I just call it? Tab mapper. Tabs equals list. And then here's the real meat of it all. Private dictionary of type tabs to rect transform tab map. And so our nav bar, when it starts up, will do the following. For each tab map in this dot tabs. This is so over-engineered. I think this almost is an anti-pattern, but it makes it easy to set up and more flexible for me. For each mapping, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this dot tab map. Dot add map dot tab map dot element. So we iterate over our list of that new struct. We take the key and value pairs out of it. I should have just named them key and value. Duh. Key and value pairs out of that struct. Because Unity does let you serialize a list, but it doesn't let you serialize a dictionary. So we put them into a dictionary, and then at the very end of this, we can just do this dot tabs dot clear to avoid having duplicate entries in memory, even though they're trivially small. That's not like a real concern in the modern era, but it's good housekeeping. If ISB is still here, I hope she appreciates that I'm cleaning up after myself and not letting garbage collection do it for me. Okay, so we have all of that. Cool. And then we can have a method in here. Private void go to, and this would be tab like so. And when you do this, you do for each tab key in this dot. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, the dictionary part of this actually doesn't make this any faster. Forget what I said about the dictionary, we don't need to do that. Because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about how we're actually going to iterate over to clear out everything anyway. So we're going to do for each tab mapper entry in this dot tabs. And then we will... The only thing the dictionary does is guarantee uniqueness, but even then it doesn't really do a good job of that. And there's not enough tabs that I need to worry about having that automated for me. There's going to be like 4 tabs. So we're going to turn them all off. We're going to do entry dot element dot game object dot set active is going to be equal to a Boolean statement here, which is going to be entry dot tab equals tab. Awesome. So we have a method that will just go to any given UI state. It'll iterate over all of the things that we have in our set of UI states. It will disable them if they are not the tab that we're looking for, and it will enable them if, or set them to active, enable them if they are the tab we're looking for. That's good. I forget if Unity lets me pass in one of these as a... I don't think you can pass in enums as a... what am I trying to say? As a thing from the inspector, which is the way that I would set up the buttons. So I can also do this. Public void. This is bad programming. Int tab. And this would be tabs. Tab equals. And I think I can do this. Oh, I can't call this tab again. Value, I guess. I think it lets me do that because it extends integer. As we saw, all of these are ultimately of type integer. They are numbers at the end of the day. Enum is just for show. It's syntactic sugar, as they call it. It makes programming easier, but it doesn't actually add any functionality. So then we just do go to value. No, I haven't. I didn't know that existed. Code blue, hello. I'm gonna change it right now. Software. Oh my god, you've changed my life. Welcome aboard, Code Blue. Thanks for stopping by. I did not know that was a category. I always search for like programming or whatever, and it didn't show up. Oh my god, thank you. I should do that. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Since you're new here, hi, I'm Skeletom. I'm a programming type VTuber. Member of the Living Dead, the thing that keeps me bound to this world. Like every ghost that haunts somebody is unfinished business. In my case, I have a pile of Git issues that I need to clear before I'm allowed to actually move on to the next life. So that's why I'm here. Every Saturday night, hacking away at code after hours for your amusement and mine. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you again in future streams. Every Saturday night I do this. Because I can just have so much fun programming at my day job that I can't quit. Can't stop. I am happy that you were going through the science and technology category, though, to come find me. It does make me feel special. And your piece of wisdom is actually very useful. Okay. So we've got our go-to wrapper here. This is the publicly exposed version. We convert our enum to from an int to an enum because Unity will let you pass in a hard-coded... I'll just show you what I mean. I don't need to talk about this. So let's go to our nav bar. We are going to add a button. UI prefabs button. We don't want one quite that big, but that's okay. I wish this wasn't so zoomed in as well. Hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, this is fine for now. Doesn't need to be so big, but that's okay. Let's do this. UI. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Well, first things first, let me actually just make this do what I want to do. So this is going to be the inputs. And these buttons are going to be small, so the text will probably not read great. But input, we'll have icons for them later. Boom. Code Blue, if you're still here and not just a wandering Ronin, tell me about yourself. What brings you here? How did you find me? What are you up to? I'm interested. I'm always interested to know about my viewers, much in the same way that I hope my viewers are interested to know about me. Tell me about yourself. You got the floor. I'm just typing away here. Color button. So let's do this. We got our nav bar, UI. I guess panel is what they're called. I just need another rect here, basically. Doesn't need to have an image, but that does make it easier to visualize. This will be anchored to the left side here, and the position of the X. That's going to be 1. Width is going to be like 375, 350, something like that. That's fine. And we're going to add a horizontal layout group. So now if I put these buttons in here, they get all fucky, and that's not right. We can figure that out. Child alignment is going to be middle left, I think is what I want. Yeah, there we go. And like that. I guess that is technically what I asked it to do. The only problem is that these buttons are super wide. Let's do 30 by 30. And tell this to add some spacing in between. Spacing is going to be 15. Yeah, kind of like that. I think that's what I want. And then we get rid of the ugly image. And so we've got a color button. Cool. Okay, so we've got our buttons now. That's great. We now go on pointer up, color button, drop it here, nav bar, and yeah, as you can see, the go-to int. I wish they would let me serialize enums in Unity, but I don't think that feature is in yet. So if we go back to VS Code here, I have to reference what these are. Heart rate inputs is 1, color inputs is 2. Okay. So for this one, which is color buttons, we're going to say go to 2. This is also an example of something I might clean up differently off stream. But for now, it's fine. Nav bar, go to. This will be 1. And then when we go back to the whole assembled app here, in the main scene, in our nav bar here. Oh, I need to, in the nav bar here, get rid of the dedicated reference to the inputs tab. That's not relevant anymore. Wait for this to reload. Tabs. 2. First element, tab is going to be heart rate inputs, color inputs, and so we're going to do color inputs, heart rate inputs. Now if we run this, it works. It's great when the code just works first try, isn't it? Yeah, so obviously I want these to be like icons at some point in the future, but it does seem to just work. So now if I crank my input slider, I can mess around with my color based on, going back to here, the matchers that I've got and the color that I've set up here. It all just works. It just fits together. So that's exciting. That's actually like most of the stuff I had on my to-do list, frankly. That's exciting. So I've got multiple tabs done. I don't have multiple inputs done yet, but I do have one at least, and I have a way that I can move forward with that because it's an abstract class. So that's cool. I've got my heart rate display kind of in the top here. So that's exciting. My heart rate is 0, that seems accurate. Awesome. Let me make sure I save the scene here. What would be... would be good to do now? I'm actually not sure. Because, like, some of the really more technical stuff I don't quite want to do on stream, like the Bluetooth stuff, I can't do the Pulsoid integration on stream because it requires usage and debugging of client secret and credentials, which I don't want to accidentally reveal. But, I'm pleasantly surprised with my ability to have done this. I guess I should organize. I'm going to do some housekeeping here for a little bit, and then in like 10 or so minutes I'll talk about what I've got planned for tomorrow, because tomorrow's a big day for me. Heart rate input components, we've got this guy so far. Color input components, we've got 2, 3. Oh wait, no, hold on, this is different. What is this? Oh, I guess that's technically correct. Let's rename this one. I don't like this is called input module. Slider. There we go. Color selection. Matchers. Nav bar. Okay, that works. And then these things should probably be organized as well. But I'm not sure into where. Modules, I guess. You can always have like more and more organized code is the thing. Heart rate module. Like, or not code, more and more organized project space. Never sure what the most correct way to do this is. Scripts. There we go. I guess I can do the thing as far as code. Yeah, let's try this. Let's say I have. Oops. Why is this not letting me apply changes? Why is this just empty? I don't like that. Whatever. Let's have another one of these. And let's write the part of the code that lets you switch between these and deactivates the ones that you're not using. So we'll go back to our heart rate. Input module. No, what am I looking for? I guess the plugin itself here. Close all of these, actually. Let me open that back up. So we are going to have our modules. It's going to be a list. And this will be okay, so we're going to have a list of these. And we're going to have... These are going to follow, like, I guess, a publisher-subscriber kind of pattern. I'm thinking that this is going to have a method that will add one of these to the list automatically, they can't be deleted, so it's actually just adding them. We're gonna do public. What do I want to do here? Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just manually assign them. That's fine. So we have a list. And we need to have them... What we do need is to have a way where you report that you are activated. So we're going to do public void set active heart rate input and be a heart rate input module. So then you'll pass in whatever you are, and we'll do. And then how do I designate that in the code? Well, okay, I'm trying to solve two ends of the problem at the same time. We're gonna have public void. This will be maybe trying to solve too many pieces of this problem at the same time. So we're going to have a serialized field, private toggle. This is okay. So this is good that I made this an abstract class instead of interface. I knew there was a reason I wanted to do this. So then you do private void on toggle bool value, and then we do if value, value. If basically if this is true, we're going to tell this to call private void or public void activate. I'll have to fill that in a second. There'll also be a public void deactivate. Okay. So what do I want to do here? So basically, if you toggle this on, it'll send the activate event. And then else deactivate. And so what this is going to do is going to go to the heart rate manager instance plugin, set active heart rate input this. And I don't know what deactivate's going to do yet, but we'll get there when we get there. So we pass this in, and this will somehow designate an item on the list so that we can get the heart rate value every frame. How do I do that? I mean, the easiest way is to just give this another reference where we're like active heart rate input, and we just point it to the module we're using, right? Then I feel like there's got to be a clever way to do this. I could just do this. This might be less ideal than just having the other thing. I don't know. We'll see. This dot toggle dot how do I get the boolean? It's definitely property. Is on. There we go. And so set active would be for each heart what is it? Heart rate input module and this dot heart rate inputs if how did I did this? I just did this somewhere else, right? Where in the nav bar, I did like. Oh no! Okay, I did. What am I? Now I'm like getting to the point of the night where I'm like mumbling to myself. It's gonna be. If. Oh, I can't both name these both module. And we're going to do if n dot equals module I think I want to do something like that. I think. And then this might not be optimal. We'll see. For each. This feels wrong because you're doing an iterator every frame, even if it's a really small iterator. And also, this potentially sets you up for the ability to have more, like them overriding each other. So maybe this isn't the right way to do it. I'll have to think about it. But it will definitely work in the moment, which is maybe good enough. Sometimes that's all that matters. Where was I? Okay, and then so for this, we're going to say deactivate is going to do is stop. Wait, I want to make sure this does an infinite loop. It might. Because I was going to say, set your, is on to false. You check, on the visual end of the UI, you would check it off. But if I have these things set up to do their on toggle function when the value is changed, it would be on toggle is false, calls deactivate. Deactivate says set it to false. Actually, I guess that wouldn't. I don't know. Might not actually need this. Toggle dot is on. Think I can do that? Input module. Let's go. And our toggle on value changed. I'm not sure if changed actually means it's a different value or just that you've attempted to change the value. On toggle. Oh, and then, of course, I need to go into my overall plugin manager here and load these inputs up. We're gonna have 2 of them. Oh, and I'm gonna also have to have it what do I want to do? On its boot up here, I'm gonna need to have it, where's initialize? Or start, that's fine. Start's fine too. This stuff. I should also add which heart rate type you're using as part of your save data, I think, because that'll be useful. But for now, when I'm just messing around with stuff, this will be fine. So now if I check this other one, it unchecks the first one. Cool. So let's test this out. I'm going to set the one that I'm using to a very high value, make my face beat red. I'm going to switch to the other one. And I'm still beat red. Why am I still beat red? That shouldn't be how it is. If I adjust this other slider. Interesting. Oh wait. Not that interesting. I know what I did wrong. Yeah, hold on. This is why I shouldn't program after hours. There's no conditional here, I just have to iterate over all of them. What I meant to do is if module.isActive. Wait, is that obscuring? Oh, because there's also the Unity built-in is active and enabled. That's what I meant to do. So now, I'll go here. It has this enabled. If I try and toggle the other one, it disables the first one. I think I'm also going to make these, like, reduce their opacity when they're disabled, so you can, like, clearly see that it's, like, not whatever. I'll crank this all the way up, makes my face beat red, switch over, and now it's using the other value. Make this less beat red. There you go. You can toggle between which input you're using. And you can see the value is reflected up here as well. So that's cool, that works. You can also have a case where you turn them all off, which is not necessarily ideal, but I mean, I guess that's a valid use case. I don't know if that's considered a bug or not. Cool. And we've got our colors. I think we're pretty much good. That's probably as much as I want to do for one evening. So that brings me to what's coming up next for the old Skeletom channel. Well, I would ask that people come and visit me. Uh-oh, I have to guess which one of these it is. Hold on. One second, let me find the picture I want to share with everybody. Tomorrow, Sunday, December 5th at 7:30 p.m. EST. That's a half hour earlier than I started tonight for a cool new stream type that I'm going to try. Maybe every Sunday, maybe every other Sunday, where I'll be doing, and you heard it here first, I'll be doing some cooking. And I will be providing the recipe, and we can do it together as a team. Because it's a very, very easy recipe, and it provides a lot of time for talking. And my plan is to start the cooking, and as we have it, you know, waiting and in the oven or what have you. In this case, it's, well, actually, as you can tell from the image, we're going to be making pizza. So it'll be, as the dough is rising, I'm going to switch over to playing, yes, ISVO, I'm glad you're still here. Yeah, so the plan for this is, and here's another little piece of insider info. I haven't prepared my my layouts for any of this yet. I haven't even made my thumbnail yet. But here you go. There you go. You can stop by tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. EST for the inaugural Skeletom's Pizzatsudan, where I will be making pizza and talking. Quite a lot, because there's quite a lot of time to talk while you're kneading pizza dough. The itinerary is going to be the start of the stream. We will be making the dough. Yeah, Bond made this logo, by the way. She's a genius. I can't wait to put this in the thumbnail and like figure out where to fit it in my stream layout tomorrow. Bond's a genius. She figured out this logo. It's really, really, really good. I came up with the name Pizzatsudan. But anyway, so yeah, I will be making the dough at the start. I'll have the recipe in the corner of the screen, so you can follow along at home if you want. I'll have to, you know, beat the dough or whatever. It gives us time to shoot the shit. While I let it rise, I'll have a timer running in the corner of the screen, probably about 70 to 90 minutes. I'm not really sure how long I want to let it rise for. You could let it rise overnight if you wanted, but for the sake of a stream, I don't quite have that much time. So I will be letting it rise, and I will be switching over to play a video game tomorrow. While that's happening, I'll have a dough cam in the corner of the screen as well, so we can watch it rise in the corner of our eye together. And I will be playing... which game? What game am I playing tomorrow? This one. This is the game that I will be starting tomorrow. We've wrapped up Everblue pretty much completely, so it's time to start another PS2 game. And I figured, what better game to break new ground with than Everywhere Road Trip, a real classic of the genre, or of the platform. This one's a lot of fun. If you like the movie Cars, you'll love this game. If you hate the movie Cars, I'll still make you love this game. It's really good. Yeah, so I'll be playing this game for about 90 minutes while we wait for the dough to rise. When the time is up and we've decided that the dough has risen enough, I will stop playing the game. I will then go back and actually prepare the pizza and get it in the oven, and we can talk some more, because I'll have some time to kill while I'm doing that. I'm very good at making pizza at this point, and I do believe I can do it on autopilot, so I will hopefully be able to talk a lot, and we can have a fun conversation about whatever you people want to talk about. And if nobody feels like being chatty, I have a lot of talking points prepared, because this has been a busy week, and a lot of strange and interesting things have happened to me. Interesting being relative, of course. But yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. EST. Let's make dinner together and have a great time. That'll be Skeletom's Pizzatsudan. I hope this is a fun new format that I can embrace on a regular basis. Hopefully by the end of this, like 3 months from now or whatever, I'll be really good at making very good pizza, and hopefully some of you will learn as well, because why not? So I think that will do it for me tonight. I don't really have more features I want to try and grind out in the next 20 minutes, because I do want to end at 10. So we do the customary Twitch tradition of finding someone to raid. Let's see. Twitch.tv. Who among us is streaming? I am going to send you guys off to... wait, hold on. Did my list just update? What happened? Another wonderful EN VTuber, Akiage Margot. Or Akiage, sorry. I pronounced the J like a G. Akiage Margot. She's, I think, drawing Twitch emotes right now. So that's fun. I don't know how much longer she's planning on streaming for, because she's been at it for a hot minute, but no matter. Raid. Akiage Margot. CH. Her whole thing is she loves autumn, so she's like roasted yam themed, which is very charming in my opinion. Anyway, tell her Skeletom sent you, wish her well. If she's almost done wrapping up, you know, tell her how good her art is, etc., etc. She's pretty cool. So go have fun in the raid, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. for dinner.